Well, it's time now for the other view, and joining us with their take on the DeSantis MSNBC feud is our panel, Project 21 member Whitley Yates and Newsmax contributor Deneen Borelli. Great to have you with us here. Just for some people who might say, what actually is a Karen? Quickly, a middle-class white woman who is perceived as entitled or demanding beyond the scope of what is normal. Whitley, what I see there is an attractive, well-spoken, intelligent woman whose husband happens to be running for president, and she is supporting him.
In my personal opinion, when did differences of political ideology turn into disrespect? That's where we are right now. So because you don't agree with her politically, we're going to demonize her, talk bad about her. What happened to support women? What happened to allowing their voices to be heard? I think the left are very hypocritical in how they consistently attack people who've done absolutely nothing but believe or think differently.
I think that's a great point. Deneen, your thoughts?
Well, not surprised here. First of all, where's now? Where's the National Organization of Women? Why aren't they coming out in defense of her? No, because she has a different viewpoint, a difference of opinion. Casey DeSantis is a gorgeous young mom. She supports her husband, who is in politics. She has great family values, and they hate that. They despise anything in opposition of what the left stands for. Remember how much they despise Melania Trump. It's the same thing. These attacks are vicious, and they're only going to get worse.
You know, what it reminds me of is just the typical kind of mean girls behavior, that it doesn't just have to be girls or women anymore. If you're jealous of someone, if you're uncomfortable, made uncomfortable by them for whatever reason, then the first instinct is to be nasty to them. I think Governor DeSantis was exactly right. She threatens the left. All right, I want to switch gears to the world of fashion, kind of my comfort zone. The New York Times style section recently getting criticized after it published a trend piece on men's style, saying men are now wearing crop tops. Well, the Times claiming some men are, quote, cropping their shirts at home and others are buying them from the store's women's sections. The criticism being from multiple things. First of all, many men saying, I'm not wearing a crop top, but also that the New York Times is highlighting a trend that has really been solely embraced by trans and gay figures, and then trying to, I will say, normalize it and make it a mass trend. Whitley, your thoughts?
You know, as someone who worked in styling in Los Angeles and did cover shoots for advertising agencies, I do not necessarily see this as a nationwide trend. I think this is something that they're implanting and telling us is a trend. But when you're walking down the street, when you're shopping at the grocery stores, you're not seeing men in crop tops unless they're on the football field.
Yeah, and Deneen, I want to get into this. I mean, I was a former editor at both Vogue and GQ magazine, so I went to a ton of runway shows here and in Europe. And I want to say that the actual men wearing crop tops, no joke, on the runway, on the men's runways, it was a trend. Louis Vuitton, Celine, a lot of major designers. But let me tell you something about fashion runways. That doesn't necessarily mean that these are trends that are going to become mainstream. And in that New York Times article, they didn't even mention the fact that people who may be wearing this may simply be following a trend from the runway. Again, to me, it seems like a very intentional way to make this about gender and sexuality rather than fashion, Deneen.
Well, again, it is the New York Times, right? And let me say this, ladies, if Tom Borelli steps out in a crop top to go to dinner, there's going to be a problem.
There will have to be photo evidence. Deneen, you're the photographer. All right, Whitley Yates, Deneen Borelli, thanks so much for joining us on The Other View. Appreciate it.
Thanks.